Hey, how's it going? Checking in for today and another day, another presentation. This time to the senior leadership team at Atkins, which is a large engineering consultancy company. And I was talking about not just personal well-being, but actually how to start changing the culture towards one of taking better care of yourselves, the benefits of that for performance, for mental health, and so on. I had about an hour to do this, and it was on this new platform, which I've not used before, a new kind of conferencing platform. And the session went well, so that's the sort of the headline, I guess, from it. But it's really struck me as to how much harder I find it to get totally focused and immersed in a presentation when I'm not as familiar and comfortable with the technology. Even though I've done a couple of practice runs on it, it's just different. And one of the biggest challenges is when I have to share my screen, and I share my screen and I go over to my presentation, and then all I can see is my presentation, and I can't see anything else. I can't see the chat. Well, I mean, that's the main thing with this. There was no videos for anybody else, but I can't see my video, which is helpful, so I can see how I'm framed and how my gesticulations are coming across if they're down here, so you can't see them, or if they're up here, and just looking a bit wild. So it's useful for me to be able to see myself, but it's really useful for me to be able to see the chat, especially when I ask questions that I'm hoping people are leaving comments to the chat about. So that's all then running through my mind whilst I'm presenting. So it does, I find it just turns it down in terms of my performance, just a few notches. Though that said, I got some really good feedback from the session. Actually, when I did get back into the chat after I'd stopped sharing my screen, there was some really good engagement in the chat, and we had some very valuable and useful discussions off the back of some of the things that we talked about. So it was, on the whole, it was a good session, but just made me realise how comfortable I am with technologies like Zoom and even Teams now as well. Fortunately, most of what I deliver is over Zoom, so it's all good. But I think if I was thinking of, well, what lesson can I take from this? And I think the major lesson really is, if I have to do it again on a different platform, and I've got another conference coming up in December where that's going to be the case. In fact, I've been told I can't even use my Mac for it. It has to be on a PC because the Mac's not compatible with the technology. So goodness knows what they're going to be using. So I'll need to make sure I've done lots of checks. But that will be the takeaway from this, really, to keep it simple, and to make sure that if I'm sharing my screen, that I have another device open where I can see the chat taking place. I think that's going to be one of the big things for me. Yes, that was that. And then I've had, I can't even remember where I'm up to now. It's just been a bit of a manic day because there was that, which was, we took out the majority of the morning because I listened into some of the previous, the sessions leading up to mine as well. And this is a company we're hoping, this is through Gen Healthy Minds, and we're hoping to do some more work with them. But then the rest of the day was spent trying to fix up the deck for a couple of other presentations I've got coming up next week, which I more or less did, and just catching up and following up with a few other inquiries. I've booked a meeting in for tomorrow with somebody, one of my existing clients who we're looking at putting a session on in December, so we can get that discussed. And there were a couple of other things as well which have now slipped my mind, but I've realised that I'm spending all day talking about managing your energy, and it's been very, very apparent, not just today, but the last little while, how utterly important it is for me to be doing exactly that for myself as well, to make sure that I'm managing my energy, because it was very easy to let it slip. And even this afternoon, I found I was sitting down and just working through, and I was getting a bit uncomfortable, thinking, geez, I haven't stood up for 90 minutes. So making sure that I'm taking those breaks as well. I've got my planner, I've got my schedule of things that I need to get done and I want to get done, and I'm more or less getting through those things. Some are taking less time than I'm planning for, which is good. Some things I'm not really getting into as much, and I'm putting off even though they're on the planner, so I've got to attend to that as well. And usually when that's the case, it's because I'm not specific enough and clear enough on exactly what it is that needs to happen. So on balance, I'm going to chalk today up as another success, another good day, another positive day. Lots of good stuff going on at the moment. Feeling very motivated for a change. I think that's my usual natural state. Feeling very optimistic and generally very, very highly engaged with what I'm doing at the moment, which is good. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and check back in again tomorrow for another daily update. Bye for now.